my friend said this to me recently. He said, you're only paranoid until you're right. So people can say you're paranoid, and then when you're right, everyone's like,
I wish I would have listened. And so, I've learned them lessons, Luke. I've learned them lessons in many different situations and scenarios. So I'm you know, like I said, I'm trying to stay ahead of the curve, and it doesn't matter whether it's with fashion, whether it's with crypto, whether it's with economics, whether it's history. History gives us an understanding of where we come from, so it kind of keeps you where we're going.
Let's say history repeats itself, right? Exactly. So I think understanding that is great. I get asked this question a lot, and I wanted to you've been talking about it quite a lot, so hit
me with it.
I literally got asked it today again, and it's like, if you could go back in time and speak to yourself when you're a 14-year-old boy, like what would be because obviously you're talking about community and looking after people, what would you tell yourself at 14? Like what would be the, you know, and it could be general, like if you're going to go back now, I know you deal with a lot I meet a lot of kids and talk to a lot of kids, especially in the MMA space, but if you could go back to yourself when you're 14 years old, what would be the advice that you could give yourself?
Don't worry as much about what everybody else is thinking, because once you become an adult, what everybody else used to think doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. When you make decisions as a young man or a young girl and you do things, peer pressure puts you in situations and you think everyone's going to be thinking something, and then it makes you act in a certain way. But as you get older, no one even cares about what you did when you was 14, 15. No one's interested. So I'd say to Kane, just don't worry as much as about what everyone thinks of you and what everyone's gonna say about you. And you do certain things, just focus on yourself and believe in yourself the same way you did.
I think if you take this forward now to us right now, so that at 14 is golden advice, but even right now as we stand here, is like, we're gonna die one day.
Of course.
And when we die, people are going to come to our funeral and they're going to cry and they're going to say, oh, Kane was the man, loved Kane, he was a great guy. And then as soon as they get in their car and the phone rings and they got to pay the bills, so they forget you even existed.
Done.
So if you're judging what you do in your life off of the opinions of others, those people are going to forget you. Even your brothers, even your closest friends, they are going to forget you the moment you are gone. So you need to live your life for you. And make the decision. Like I always talk about taking my own path, and I actually believe if I went back in time and I spoke to myself at 14, I would say what everyone else is doing, do the opposite.
Yeah.
Because I think if you do the opposite from everyone else, you're always going to be hit home. You know
hit home, yeah.
Like that's always going to be better than what everyone else is doing. Because I think, you know, being a sheep and following everyone else and listening to everyone else's advice is never going to get you anywhere. You got to find yourself, and the best way to find yourself is to push into the unknown and test yourself.
100%.
And I think we understand that as MMA fighters and people that put themselves through hardship every single day and push themselves through pain. I think if you're young and you haven't put yourself through pain, like that's everyone you look up to in the world, anyone that you look up to and think this guy's great, I want to be like him. He has had to go through hardship to get there.
Yes.
So if you're avoiding tough situations, we spoke about it, if you're avoiding like hardship, if you're avoiding going through those tough days, you're never going to get any better, and you're never going to become the guy that you look up to. So you have to really dive in and almost search for the tough times. Search for, I'm not saying go to prison, but search for when 100%. You're in prison and appreciate being there, you know. And obviously, a good friend of mine recently spent 3 months in prison unjustly, and we talk about it every single day. And he's like, for him, he is so happy that happened to him because it made him realize everything that he has.
Yeah,
you know, and you can understand like
prison does that to you. It gives you that gratitude.
Gives you that gratitude and gives you that clarity of what you want from your life. 100%. You know what I mean? So you have come out now and you've grasped it with both hands and gone after it. First with fighting, now with BADR, and now with any of these future projects you have going on, now with the crypto space. I mean, anything that you have going on now, you understand the urgency to achieve these things, because one day we're going to be gone, and then all we have is the legacy that we leave. 100%. You know what I mean? So I think what else is going on in Kane Mousah's world right now?
For where I'm up to now, currently, obviously we've got and the side passion for me. Look, I'm always about earning money, right? Yeah. Because I believe that without finance, for me, without finance, you know, you can't support your family to the best of your ability. You know, financial strain is not a nice place for anybody. You know, and life's not, when people say it's all about money, no, life is not all about money. But believe me, money is a very, very, very important part of life. And that is because, you know, when people are under financial strain, it doesn't make living a good place to be, a good existence. So for me, I work to make money, and I also want to have fun when I'm making money. And I like to be passionate about something that I'm doing. I'm passionate about clothes. I'm passionate about this, the kids stuff that we're doing. And I'm passionate about dogs. So when I was younger, I used to always breed dogs, but I always used to do my own type of outbreeding with dogs, yeah? I had pit bulls and I used to breed them all and try and mix a Johnson Bulldog with a pit bull and trying to make a bigger pit bull. And when I went to prison, they neutered my dog, my boy, and it was one of my outbreeding Johnson pit bull bulldog breeds, and he was a big dog, and I wanted to get his semen to breed another dog, but then when I went in jail, they neutered him, so I couldn't breed. So that was the end of my bloodline. Yeah, so I was no, Luke, listen, bro, I was wounded. Yeah, it hurt me. Yeah, so then obviously I came out, did my thing, and then pit bulls are too big for me now. I love them as a breed, but for me, they're too big. And then the French Bulldog space came around, and I found my intrigue came into it, and then I understood that these guys are breeding French Bulldogs. But then I started hearing about how much money was being made. Like, you know, some French Bulldogs are being sold for £150,000. Some of them are being sold for 200 grand, some 50, 60, and then obviously at the bottom end. So the way the game is structured is that it's about outbreeding. At this level, is outbreeding for specific looks and DNA, then breeding it back to the French Bulldog, then doing generational breedings to make that trait stay in it, but it makes it back to a French Bulldog if you breed it over and over and over again, but you breed the outbreed. But then what happens is it's very competitive and it's a natural movement. So for me, as my side passion, I breed exotic, high quality French Bulldogs. And my partner that I'm working with, he's got international relationships and he sells dogs all around the world, Germany, America. So that's like a little passion for me, but it's a passion that also makes money as well.
It makes a bit of money. I mean, I know nothing about dogs.
Yeah, listen, that's another rabbit hole we could go down.
I could never imagine buying a dog for 200 grand.
Nah, but it's the breeding, that's the breeders that pay that. That's the breeder. It's a breeder's market at that high end point. It's the breeders, they pay that for their programs. So breeders don't sell dogs at that price point to consumers. No, it's to other breeders who then use the look of that DNA to be able to create a crazy looking dog, but it might not have all the DNA packed in it, but it looks amazing, and then they can sell that for 10 grand, 15 grand, 5 grand. So it's a crazy little world, but I'm involved in it and I like it, and it doesn't take any of my time really. It's just do a mating, put this dog here. And my mum's actually involved now. I've got my mum. My mum's one of my whelpers, but she enjoys it and it keeps her occupied as well. Do you know what I mean? And that's another thing for me, is like doing stuff for my mum as well, bro. Like, it's about my mum, man. My mum really did a lot for me when I was coming up, and like even just this little thing now, she earns from it and makes from it, and it's something that I can do.